Sever the Bond, Nets Republic. There have been times where I've lost my mind to certain degrees. There have been times where I have debatably gone too far with some takes. This might be the first time here on Nets Republic where I'm saying something to where it's like Seven Man might be going too far. But I think we're at that point now. I decided to film this one in my closet just because while I don't plan on screaming because the Nets just don't deserve that level of passion from me right now, just in case I start to scream, I don't want to get kicked out of my apartment. So I don't plan on screaming, but just in case I do, I want to make sure that I am in a place where I cannot possibly be evicted. So let's do the dang on thing. Obviously, Nets Republic. It's time to fire Steve Nash. I know. And believe it or not, on every platform that I am on, be it my personal channel, be it anywhere else, I have refrained from saying this. I haven't been fire the coach guy for maybe 700 days now. I'm really not that guy. I mean, I am, but I haven't been that guy for a very long time. But tonight was such a disgusting, don't get angry, was such a disgusting excuse of a coaching job that honestly, I'm at the point where I want Steve Nash fired. I don't want him there another game. If you're not going to do anything with the Kyrie stuff and we're just going to continue to be defenseless at home, you have to have a brain. And I don't know if we got to ship that dude over to Kansas, have him chase a little cute little Yorkie, have him get caught up in a twister, go to Little People Land or something like that, then have that man take out Glinda, or no, Glinda was the good witch that looked like a stick of bubble gum. Take out the green bad witch or whatever, so that he can indeed get his brains, because he is Scarecrow. I'm going to take that back, because if we're going by the Wiz metaphor, that would make him Michael Jackson, and I'm not going to go there. Now, a lot of y'all are like 16 years old, and you don't know what the Wiz is. Ask your mama them. They know what I'm talking about, but that's neither here nor there. I got really off topic. I apologize. The point is, that man is brainless. When Harden went out the game, LaMarcus Aldridge was out there for like maybe 5 minutes. Maybe 5 minutes of LaMarcus Aldridge by himself, where he had a couple of mismatches here and there, and he was trying to get something going, but he was barely out there. They benched LaMarcus Aldridge. We don't see LaMarcus again for the rest of the game. To my knowledge, I don't think he played the second half. I could be off on that. I could be off. Maybe I'm just remembering the game wrong. But I don't remember LaMarcus coming back. Blake Griffin didn't play either. And I know a lot of casuals are looking at this video and saying, Sever, what are you talking about, LaMarcus Aldridge and Blake Griffin? Like, that's going to make a difference. If you do not watch every game, I completely understand if that take sounds insane. But what we have established over basically the last week is if we get other people involved, and by other people, I mean our other stars. Let's not act like Blake Griffin wasn't a freaking all-star before he got here. Sorry, door. Let's not act like LaMarcus Aldridge isn't that guy and is not that guy still. So you can get other people involved. So this whole thing of, oh, you don't have Kevin Durant, or you don't have Kyrie Irving, what's Harden supposed to do? Get other people involved. Yes, the 30 points is cute until you factor in that he had 31 going into the fourth quarter and ended with 33. So let's just throw that out there for a second. Before we start to say, well, what more could he have done? Oh, I don't know, maybe score in the fourth quarter, more than 2 points, but that's neither here nor there. He could have gotten LaMarcus Aldridge involved and get him down low. Now, everyone is going to immediately go to that one instance where LeBron was just bodying that man. I ain't gonna lie, I know Bron was that strong. I knew Bron was swole, and they call him the Big Red Machine. No Kane, I totally understand, but I didn't know he was that swole. LaMarcus is giving him all sorts of elbows, and that man wasn't moving. That man was a immovable object, if you will. So I will give LaMarcus that. Maybe posting up LeBron James is harder than it looks. Sure, I'll give you that. But when there are other clear mismatches, I don't know, Malik Monk is on him, Harden, give LaMarcus the ball. And it's like, I could sit here and I could just poop on Harden, but we really got to focus on Steve Nash here for a second. Because when Harden leaves the game, we're talking about a lineup of a bunch of people who can't get a shot on their own. Like, Patty Mills is like, he'll get open and spray a 3 or 2 if he's super open, but outside of that, mans ain't going to do that much unless he's being spoon-fed an assist of some kind, and he's not getting those impossible layups off with all the coverage down low in the paint. It's just not going to happen against the Lakers. So what you could have done is, if you didn't want to put LaMarcus Aldridge out there, you want him out there with the starters, or whatever Steve Nash's original plan was, you could have put Blake Griffin out there, who has a documented history of taking a team of bums with no talent. And no offense to Bruce Brown, even though Bruce Brown is a part of that gang of bums in Detroit that Blake carried, but that's neither here nor there. No offense to the rest of the talent on the team, but Claxton ain't going to go out there and get a shot on his own. Bembry is a cleanup guy. Bruce Brown is a cleanup guy. Outside of Cam Thomas, who he's a rookie, he's a child. I keep saying that. Same thing with the rookies, Kessler Edwards and Day'Ron Sharpe. You are putting so much on them, just saying, well, Day'Ron Sharpe, go out there and lock up Anthony Davis. I don't care if he's coming back off of an injury. That's Anthony Davis. When healthy, debatably one of the top 10 players in the league. And you're just saying, all right, Day'Ron Sharpe, go on out there and do it. That's just putting too much pressure on them. That is putting far too much pressure on them, but that's not here there. That's not here there. Let me get focused. Let me stay on the point of why Steve Nash needs to get fired, and let me try not to yell. I don't want to lose my voice. You could have had Blake Griffin out there to initiate some stuff out there. Really could have did that. Blake would have did a number on the Lakers bench, I guarantee you. With no Dwight Howard and the best player you have out there is Melo, I think Blake Griffin would have had a grand old time out there if you give him the ball and let him play how he actually plays. We all remember Detroit Blake. It wasn't even that long ago. Let him get back to his game. The same way we keep saying, feed LaMarcus in the post. No one is going to be able to stop him. You got to let Blake Griffin play how he plays. Don't just have him be a spot-up shooter. But the crazy thing is, he didn't even play tonight. We saw Javon Carter get minutes, and we didn't even get to see Blake Griffin. The insanity on display is beyond me. And how does Javon Carter get minutes at this point? It is, and I'm not even anti Javon Carter man like that, but it is. Oh God, I'm trying really hard to think of adjectives that are not cursing because I'm trying to keep my job, but it is getting very, 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 very difficult. There was a stretch of time in the beginning of the fourth quarter where I think we went 6 minutes into the quarter with no James Harden, nobody. It's just Claxton and the kids, and even Patty Mills wasn't out there. And we are just, it's avalanche mode. There was no chance. Why was Harden sitting on the bench? Steve put him in the game. It was like we were tanking. It was like Steve Nash was deliberately trying to get us to oh God, I gotta sit down. I'm starting to get lightheaded. It was like Steve Nash wanted us to lose the game. I've just never seen stupidity like that. He has to go. This is inexcusable on so many levels. It's ridiculous. And again, I understand. Kevin Durant's hurt. Kyrie Irving can't play home games. Neither of those things are in the power of Steve Nash, so we'll leave that alone for now. We'll talk more about people's availability and why James Harden is frustrated and all that stuff. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Tonight, we are talking specifically about Steve Nash. This stuff is inexcusable. And now, more than ever, when you see Harden out there, doing his absolute best. Harden's trying, and I will give him that. He was a lot more aggressive than he normally is. Man's had 30 points and halfway through the third quarter. I will give Harden that. He was trying his absolute hardest. I'm not going to get mad at him for that. But the thing is with Steve Nash, you know all the things that James Harden has to carry on his shoulders. And at this point in his career, when he didn't come here to do all this, the same reason why no one ever poops on Patty Mills, these players didn't come here to do all that. Patty Mills didn't come here to be Joe Harris. He came to come off the bench and have fun with LaMarcus Aldridge and stuff like that. This is not what these people came here to do. Blake Griffin didn't come back for all this. To watch James Harden out there on a one-man show try to get past Westbrook, who really wasn't much of a factor, but He's Westbrook, name value. LeBron and Anthony Davis. With Malik Monk shooting from half court. And Steve Nash doesn't draw a single play the entire game. And while that is old news and it's not even that like shocking or something like, oh really? Oh my God. It's just like, how can you watch Harden give it his all? And again, it's the same play. It's the pick and roll. Somebody gets a lob. That's all Harden seems to know how to do. But at least it's something. For Steve Nash to sit there, and you know what he's saying in the post interview right now. He's saying, well, we tried really hard, but it's just, we didn't have Kyrie and Kevin, so it's just difficult, and it's different people out there every day, and blah, blah. That is no excuse to lose to the Lakers when you're not even trying. I'm telling you, like, watching Steve Nash coach is insane. It's just disgusting and it's revolting. And it's like, if you get tired of hearing me talk about Steve Nash, look at the internet. Look at the rest of the world. Like, I know there's not many, like, on-camera Nets influencers. I might be the only one. But it's like, dog, like, look at what other people are saying. Read the articles on Nets Republic. Like, check other blogs out. The world is noticing this stuff. It's not just me complaining about nothing. I think after tonight, he has to be, because there has to be some type of shakeup. And Steve Nash is just not getting it done. They don't play defense anymore. I mean, these are all things the coach is supposed to find a way to figure out. Is it his fault that there's different people available every night? Absolutely not. But is it his fault that he's not drawing plays? Absolutely. Is it his fault that you're talking about the Nets have to find some type of defensive identity, but yet you don't call any timeouts during the game to get people under control? The most that we see you do in the little live mic session is you're giving encouraging words like, yes, you are professional basketball players. You work that. You go out there. You work that thing out. Work that thing out. Work that thing out. Work that thing. That's all we get from you? That's all we get from you? He's so much of a joke that when he pulls his mask down and he screams at the referees don't even turn their heads. They treat that man like he's a mosquito, like, oh man, summertime, what? He's got to go. He's really, really got to go. Because again, we can get onto Harden for not recognizing mismatches. We can get onto Harden for walking the ball up the court, taking the entire 7 or 8 seconds or however long they have, how he's allergic to fast breaks. Like, we can talk about Harden to death. But the coach of the team has to step in and do something at some point. You have to have a pulse on the sideline at some point. And tonight, to me, extremely winnable game. The way Harden was going off, it is unexcusable for our only consistent offensive weapon by choice, because Steve Nash refuses to draw plays for anyone else. Our only offensive weapon tonight was basically James Harden, and you have the first 6 minutes of the fourth quarter with him on the bench as we go down by 20. Then you bring him in for 2 minutes where there's just no hope, and then sit him back down on the bench. If the reports are true, honestly, I don't blame James for leaving. We'll talk about that on another day, but honestly, I don't blame him. Fire that man now, before it's too late and we lose this entire season. Let Tiago Splinter come up or whatever. Steve Nash has to go now. We're about to go into the All-Star break. We don't have time for this. End this now. Get someone who's going to draw a play and understand what's going on out there. And y'all might think I'm pushing an agenda. Y'all might think I'm keeping up a meme or something like that. But I am so dead serious. Leaving Harden out there alone with Claxton, his first game back after 2 weeks, and you've got a healthy Blake Griffin and a healthy LaMarcus Aldridge where we are aware of what to do and how to get them involved to take the scoring load off of James Harden and take the pressure off of James Harden. And you just sit there and watch and say, well, Harden will do it. I'll see y'all tomorrow. I'll see y'all tomorrow.